Gear acquisition syndrome is a fun pastime for any filmmaker. But when it comes time to actually travel with all of our equipment and take it somewhere exciting for a job, it's probably something you immediately regret. One of my go-to bits of advice for filmmakers looking to travel with all of their equipment is to get yourself a pack muller girlfriend who can carry half of your equipment for you. But practically speaking, for working DPs, you can't bring them to work with you anyways. So there's not really a point of getting yourself one. So how do you travel with all of your kit? Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Tom Park and I'm an underwater and wildlife cinematographer. Throughout this series, we're discussing the world of filmmaking and cinematography, where I'll teach you some of the things that I've learned over the last decade working in the film industry as an underwater and wildlife cinematographer. If you're interested in this sort of thing, subscribe and let me know down below what you film and if airport security has ever lost one of your camera bags. Whether you're a wildlife cinematographer, a documentary filmmaker, or just someone passionate about telling stories through a lens, knowing how to move your equipment safely and efficiently is a skill you have to master. One of the most important things to do before you even pack your bags is to plan ahead for your destination. This includes everything from researching what the drone laws are, understanding the rules on how many camera bodies are allowed to be brought into the country, and if there are any rules on what the maximum value of camera equipment is that can be bought past border security. These are all things that are critical to get right, as I've been on countless shoots, both as an AC or second shooter, where one of the crew wasn't aware that he or she wasn't allowed to bring a drone into the country, or that they weren't allowed to bring any more than 2 camera bodies in with them, and airport security simply just confiscate the equipment. I've seen this happen more than once, and in my experience, the success rate for the filmmaker to get their kit back is only about 50%. It's not a great way to start a shoot. Also, if you're traveling with something like a Red, like I am, you'll have a bit of work ahead of you in organizing carnets and other things to ensure that customs let you pass through with your equipment and let you pass without levying thousands of dollars in import taxes on you. If your kit is as big as mine, it will attract attention from customs officers who will be asking you what you're doing and if you have a carnet and a visa and all sorts of other paperwork. Don't get caught out, as it will cost you thousands and can potentially ruin your shoot. Now that you know what you're allowed to bring, packing is an art form. I usually travel with 4 items or bags. The first is a good quality camera bag, one that is large enough to fit in all of my equipment on location, but not big enough to not be allowed on as carry-on. Then I also travel with 2 Pelican Air cases, and I'll touch more on those later on. My 4th item is a ski jacket. No matter how tropical the destination I'm traveling to is, I will always bring a ski jacket with me, as these guys have pockets big enough to fit in a few kilos of gear without raising any eyebrows. This may sound like a joke, but finding one with deep pockets will make your life so much easier, as I can fit in drones, underwater video lights, and even cinema lenses in my ski jacket. Trust me, when flying with 60 kilos of camera equipment, we need to leverage any small advantage that we can. Another little trick of mine is that where possible, I always try to travel with a full underwater camera system in my carry-on, and try to keep anything critical I need for a job with me in the unlikely event that my check-in hard cases don't turn up. This was much easier when traveling with my Sony system than my Red, of course, as I would just take a stripped down housing, camera and lens with me inside my carry-on bag, such that I could always make a shoot work even if the rest of my kit unfortunately failed to turn up. With the Red, of course, this is much harder, but I still try to take my Sony camera as a backup in carry-on anyways. Not that I have ever actually had any issues with luggage failing to arrive, but it's good to be prepared. When it comes to bags and cases, while large camera bags and Pelican cases are expensive, I would say that these items are essential to ensuring that your gear arrives at your location safely. I see a lot of posts online with people asking how to safely travel with their underwater camera or lenses just in their suitcase, wrapped up in clothing or towels. And while I have been there and do understand, I urge you not to do this and to travel with appropriate protection for your gear. Even if that means buying a smaller, cheaper hard case to put your gear in and putting that small hard case inside your suitcase, it's still much better than wrapping your expensive lenses or underwater equipment in clothing and hoping for the best. As an underwater cinematographer, we travel with a lot of large equipment and have things like 9-inch domes and massive underwater housings that we need to travel with. For this reason, I like all of my camera bags and hard cases to be extremely deep, such that I can fit my housing and domes in them without taking up too much horizontal space. As mentioned, in a pinch, I can fit a rigged up underwater camera inside both my hard case and my camera bag, which really helps when luggage allowances are slim. When it comes to hard cases, I really like the Pelican Air series of cases. They're extremely durable, have lifetime warranties, and they're built for flying around such that they're measured to airplane specs and are lighter than other hard cases. They do cost as much as a lens, but once you have them, they'll be with you for life. I also really recommend spending extra on the cases with movable inserts, and avoid, if possible, hard cases that use that rippable foam, as it won't take too long for the foam partitions inside your travel case to be completely destroyed. Again, these do cost more, but in the long term, the movable Trek Pack or Velcro dividers are a much better choice. And as your gear inevitably grows, or the gear requirements for the particular job change, you can adjust your hard case to the new size. Finally, when traveling with camera equipment, it's incredibly important to insure your kit. Personally, I have an insurance policy over all of my camera equipment that covers me in the event that my hard cases are lost, or in the event that my camera is damaged or floods while being used. With expensive equipment, the peace of mind that you're covered even if the worst happens is such an asset. Also, for $40, throwing a few AirTags in your travel cases is well worth it. Traveling with gear is such a pain, but with proper planning, the right travel cases, insurance, and a few cheeky tricks, it can remove a lot of the stress. But even still, getting camera equipment on the plane is never fun. That's it for this one. If you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.